What is up everybody, Chris here, and today I'll be giving you an answer to the question everybody's been asking themselves: is the monster role underpowered? I don't know if you're a beta player or not, but if you watched YouTube videos, if you watched Twitch streamers, a lot of people complain about monster feeling a bit underpowered compared to teen side, and this is especially the case with the players who've been playing for a while. Well, I'm just gonna say that's a bunch of baloney, and here is why. There is a couple of monster players out there who mostly play monster, and I'm talking about like 90% of the time. And not only that, they usually specialize in one monster. Good couple of examples are Mr. Blue on w.a.r.t, Cyclone on Dollmaster and w.a.r.t, Lucetta on Dollmaster, and there is many more. I don't know if you ever played against any of those, but it's pretty darn difficult to beat them. Even in a 4-stack, when we have a pre-made team, all really great players with hundreds of hours in VHS, we barely ever win a game against them. That's how good they are. And I'm not trying to praise myself here, but realistically, considering how much time I already spent on the game and the people I play with, we are some of the best players currently on European servers. And whenever I speak to those monster players, they say that us plus some other players on the servers are usually the biggest threat to them. And if they ever lose a game, it's usually to us or those same people. And one more crucial fact is that they have an enormously high win ratio. I'm talking about over 90% in hundreds upon hundreds of games. That means they rarely ever lose a game. I get the frustration, a lot of new people coming in and saying, oh, one side is weaker than the other. That's just because you're new. And I know we got MMR system introduced lately, but sometimes when there's not enough players on the servers, they gotta fill with better or worse players, and the matchmaking is not always gonna be perfect, unless you're willing to wait in queue for, I don't know, 90 minutes. So maybe because of that reason, sometimes you lose fairly easy, or maybe you win fairly easy, and that might seem imbalanced, but most of the time MMR system is pretty darn good. If you're a teen main and you constantly complain about your teammates and dying, maybe, just maybe, try communicating more. Maybe you're the reason you're losing. It's similar with monster players. A lot of you come from other games where you cannot really waste time, like Dead by Daylight. You play a killer there, time is of the essence. Even wasting 20 seconds of time can lose you the match. In VHS, it's all about patience, positioning, and waiting for the right moment. People will say, oh, the monster side feels weak, yet you run into 4 teams with weapons with your abilities on cooldown. I mean, for Christ's sake. Instead of blaming the game and how the game is unbalanced, maybe you should just look to yourself and see what you're doing wrong. I'll tell you from my own experience. I spend 97% of the time on teen side, and I feel like I'm pretty darn good at it, and I have no complaints. I usually have really good teammates, and it doesn't matter if I'm in a 4-stack or not, but that's probably because I'm in the high MMR range. But still, you won't really see me complain about anything being too unbalanced. Actually, most of the time you'll see me joking about Cross being too OP, or maybe the sword, but that's me just screwing around. Of course, there is 1 or 2 changes that I think needs to be done to a couple of weapons, or maybe to a couple of mutations on the monster side, but those are minor things. Overall, I feel like the game is pretty well balanced, and whenever I play monster, I actually do have a better win ratio on monster side, probably just because I sucked really bad as a teen in the beginning, and I do have that good starting point as a monster just because I know the maps very well already. So maybe I cannot really categorize as a bad or beginner monster because I do have the fundamental understanding of the game and how the monster power works and what teens can do and what can't. Yet I do get placed with low MMR teens just because I only have 40-ish games on monster side. So maybe I'm a little bit biased. There's one more problem with the monster side. Every monster plays differently. You have different powers, you have different mutations, you can get a lot of different playstyles from a single monster, yet a lot of people constantly switch between all 3. That also means they test out new mutations every once in a while, and then they say the game is imbalanced. I mean, look at the teen side. You play one teen. There's really not much that can change. When you switch from a teen to teen, the only thing that usually changes are the perks, but those are not crucial winning factor. So when you switch from a teen to teen, you're basically playing the same role. But when you do that on the monster side and you go from w.a.r.t to Dollmaster, that's a completely different world. Different abilities, different cooldowns, different playstyles. That's why you don't hear those players that we talked about earlier complain. They focus on one monster, they master them, and now they know what they can and can't do with them. They will know about all the restrictions, they will have the cooldowns at the back of their head, they don't even have to probably look down below. They jump, they will know. The countdown goes automatically in their head. Oh, I will have the leap once again in a second, and that's how it is. If you ever played any other game where you have characters that are very different from each other, maybe League of Legends, if you focus on one character, one champion, for 100, 200, 300 games, it gets much easier. Even if they're not S+ tier, your knowledge and understanding of that champion makes them much better. So in VHS, if you focus on teen side, you learn how to use the weapons. It doesn't really matter if you switch from teen to teen. Weapons is what matters. This is your primary objective, learning how to use them, learning their crafting time, when they're good, when they're bad. That's all you need to know, basically. Plus, you have 3 other people you can count on at all times. With monster is much different. You have different monsters, which means if you want to master them all, you will most probably have to invest more time as it is, and some people would call this a bad thing, but others think it's a good thing. You only have yourself in the game. You don't really have anybody to depend on, but there is also nobody dragging you down. And if you're one of those people who still thinks, oh no, monster side is just way too underpowered, take one monster and invest $100 in him. Play him every day and play only him. And then come back here and let me know if I'm still wrong. Because stats don't lie. You have those players who mastered one monster and now are winning basically every match. So no, at the end of the day, I don't think monster role is underpowered. I don't think teen role is underpowered. We're in a really good spot. This is why I love VHS. VHS is a really good, well-balanced game. Do I think balancing could be better? Of course. Balancing could always be better, but this is as good as I've seen. Well, to be fair, I haven't played all that many games, but if you have a game that's more well balanced, let me know down below. And as always, I want to hear what you guys think. Do you think monster role is underpowered? Do you maybe think teen role is underpowered? Don't hold back. Comment section is wide open, use it as you will. Let's discuss this a little bit more. And if you guys found the video enjoyable and don't want to miss out on any future ones that I'll be posting, please consider smashing the like button below and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. It really does mean a lot. All that said, wishing you all a beautiful rest of your day, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. See ya.